Well, hello everybody, Newbornkilik here, welcoming you back to another awesome Zelda Theory. Today we're going to be taking a look at red potions and kind of some of the implications behind them, and my main question for the evening is, do commoners use them? As in like the average Joe, the average Hylian, the Gorons, the Zoras, do they use these potions? Because as we'll get into in just a little bit, they are very reasonable and very affordable. And as it turns out, this may actually have been the turning tide of the Hyrulian Civil War. Real quick before we get into it, if you do happen to enjoy the video, please do leave it a like for me. It does help me out an awful lot, and I greatly appreciate it. Makes me feel all warm and fuzzy on the inside. But anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about potions in Zelda. So, question of the evening, do commoners use them? So one of the questions that we actually have to ask when talking about whether or not, the average Joe, the average Hylian can actually use these potions would be affordability. Are these potions affordable? And for that, we have to look no further than the actual amount of rupees that you happen to get during the Zelda games. It's pretty insane. Even in a game like Breath of the Wild, where you don't just find rupees laying all over the place, it's pretty easy to get a stack of rupees, you just have to try a little bit. Or just follow the hero time around. He's always throwing rupees on the floor that he didn't need. Oh, you opened up a chest? Good for you. Throw that rupee on the floor, it doesn't fit in your wallet. I'm not upset, okay? I'm definitely not upset about something that just happened in the randomizer a couple days ago. That would be ridiculous and petty. But yes, even if the economy didn't seem to be doing pretty well and it wasn't, super easy to just sell a couple potions and buy some magic juice, then we have to look no further than the Minish cap. I mean, the Minish literally leave stuff like rupees and bombs, which, a side note about that, probably shouldn't leave bombs anywhere in case the wrong person gets a hold of it. But yes, following the logic from the Minish cap, the Minish are these tiny little creatures that love nothing more than to leave things lying around for the Hylians so they can find. There's actually a couple theories I have planned for them, but in the meantime, all that you really need to know about the Minish is that they love making the Hylians happy, and they do that by leaving little trinkets in the pots and the grass and stuff like that. And of course, Link will find those and buy some of that dank magic juice. So this all but confirms that a standard Joe would really be able to afford this at some point in their life, even if it were a large purchase. But we really have to look at kind of the prices of these potions in the games. I mean, in the Minish cap, it costs 150 rupees. That's more than a child's wallet can even carry. But once you get up to the adult wallet, it's not even, it's the full wallet. Yeah, but it's still within the bounds of what you can carry in one single wallet. Or in Skyward Sword, there's a guy literally selling them at a stall for 20 rupees. You don't get much more affordable than 20 rupees. And yet in Skyward Sword there is a graveyard. How is anyone dying when there's these magical potions that are basically a full heal for any normal human being so readily available? I mean, it seems like in every Zelda game there's at least some kind of graveyard, and in certain instances we actually know it's in the lore that somebody has died, even though these magical potions exist. I mean, we have Prince Rawliss's mother, which I probably butchered that, sorry. Link's mother, see the theory below, cough, cough. But yes. That one at least makes a little bit of sense because she was fleeing from a battlefield. She may not have had the potion on her at the time. Out of all of them, that's kind of the one that I can understand. Oh yeah, and then you have most of the population of the Kakariko village in Twilight Princess and, oh yeah, the entire Sheikah race. How did they all go the way of Old Yeller if they have these magic potions? So I kind of got to thinking about it, and I kind of came up with the idea that maybe these don't actually heal, sort of crippling ailments, like a broken arm, a broken leg, a severe case of death. They don't cure against that. And to be fair, the only real experience we have with the red potions is actually with the one and only Hero of Time, which seems to be protected against, broken bones, broken arms, legs, that sort of thing, internal damages to your vital organs, probably as a result of him being protected from, his piece of the Triforce or the goddesses or plot armor. Because here's the thing, when you can survive being completely submerged in magma, you have some allies in high places. At the end of the day, they may heal these broken bones and snapped necks as well, but I don't think so. because graveyards still exist. So under this kind of logic, if the potions can't actually, heal any sort of debilitating injuries, then maybe they just act as kind of a numbness to the pain. And coupled with Link's plus 10 plot armor, given to him by the gods, what are you gonna do? Essentially meaning that he cannot be crippled in any way. Unless you're playing Breath of the Wild, and also in a cutscene, and it's very convenient to the storyline for Link to fall for 100 years and have to be resurrected. It could also be that maybe only red potions actually work on beings that have a sort of magical channel through them, which I don't really like the idea of, because all Hylians actually at one point themselves had the ability to use this magic. It kind of seems as if this has closed off though, and when you get the upgrade from the Fairy Fountain, you're basically just having those magical channels opened back up. So perhaps that's kind of the reasoning behind it. Another important factor may be exactly how much these potions actually heal. Maybe they're not even really worth using in every universe. They kind of do tend to heal differently in different games. Usually it's a full heal, sometimes it's 6 to 8 hearts, though if a red potion were a full potency, could heal everything, somewhat affordable, it would be a great backup plan. There's no reason you wouldn't have at least one in your house at all times. No one would ever have to die, which again, citing my earlier point, people do die. There are graveyards. There's not a lot of them, and we'll get back to that interesting tidbit on the flip side in just a moment. We'd just like to reiterate that these are life-saving potions literally sold in stores. Just sold in stores. Which kind of does lead me over to the other side, and why I do actually believe that commoners would use these potions. Not only are they incredibly potent, I don't think that they are, the panacea of the Zelda universe. I don't think that they're going to be a full heal. I believe that kind of thing is going to be reserved for like a fairy. If you break your arm or leg or skull, it's probably not going to help you against that. But hey, if you're feeling a little bit down, you get sick, perhaps a potion's just what you need. So as I was saying about the graveyards, yeah, there are graveyards that exist, but there's not very many. There's usually only 1, maybe 2 in every game. If the mortality rate in Hyrule were that of, say, here, every single little town or city would have a graveyard, and it would probably be a lot bigger, especially in the aspect of Ocarina of Time with the Hyrulian Civil War. What I said about the mortality rate, I would like to peel that statement back just a little bit, because I remembered the Shadow Temple exists. Not great things happening there. Outside of that, yes, there should be more graveyards for the common folk. But yes, talking about dark stuff, it's time for the obligatory trashing of the royal family. I kind of wonder if maybe red potions weren't used in the Hyrulean Civil War to kind of tip the tide in favor of the Hylians. A soldier could potentially shrug off any non-mortal wounds or any non-crippling wounds with a single swig from his magic red juice. Magic Kool-Aid, if you will. Fun for the kids, fun for everybody. And having that kind of advantage in a battle would be massive, to say the least. I mean, think about the medic's job when it comes to the Hyrulean Civil War when red potions exist. Hey Johnny, you a little bit beat up there? Here, take a swig of this bad juice. Bad juice? What? So, that could explain why the other races were actually so willing to take up a treaty with the king under the rule of the Hylians, because let's be honest, the Gorons would absolutely destroy the Hylians in any sort of, open conflict. They literally live in a volcano. You can't attack that. What are you gonna do? Go in and burn to death? The Gorons sell the tunics that allow the Hylians to be there. And on that note, the Zora could basically tank the water supply running downstream into Castletown and cripple the entire operation of the Hylians. But this isn't a discussion on battle tactics of the different races in Ocarina of Time, but pick a side. I'm a Goron guy. I think the Gorons would absolutely eliminate the Hylians. The only thing they might have to contend with is the Zora, but even then, what are they going to do about the volcano? They can never strike a fair blow over to the Gorons. They just can't. But yes, pick your side in the comments below. It will be an epic battle. Who should have won the Hyrulean Civil War? The Gorons, the Zora, or the Hylians without magic Kool-Aid? they're being handicapped, because we already know how that works. Who would win that war? So getting back on topic, Gorons would win. I do think that most people in the land of Hyrule probably do use potions. And if they weren't a somewhat lucrative business, then why would there be entire shops in them? Skyward Sword, there's a guy that just sells potions. A potion that lets you breathe underwater. A potion that lets your shield not get damaged. Wonder how that works. In Ocarina of Time itself, there is a shop selling red potions without the bottle. Let's be real, we're not cheap. A specific potion shop sells potions and bugs and literally souls. So there's some weird stuff there. But the fact of the matter is, this place is still in business. And it's really cheap. But then again, she's not really doing anything with her time. Except that. Looking at that. But yes, let me know your ideas about this kind of hypothesis or theory down in the comments below. I'm more than interested to hear your answers. And of course, if you did happen to enjoy the video, one, I appreciate you. Personally, you're great. Just in case anyone didn't know, we have officially split the gameplay channel and the primary channel into two. So if you're not interested in the gameplay stuff, you won't be getting those anymore. I understand not everyone's into that kind of thing, but if you are, I would like to encourage you to go over to Newbornkilik Plays. There'll be a link on screen. I think it's here. Is it here? But yes, of course we'll be continuing the series that we started over here, the Ocarina of Time Randomizer, and all future gameplay videos will be posted on that second channel. Anyway, I'm Newbornkilik. Have yourselves a wonderful afternoon. I will see you in the next one. I'm out.